Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. We hope you'll check it out. Obviously, so much has happened. So much has happened in the world that we need to, for lack of a better description, almost restart things. And I think about a product and a service we provide called the Dual Assessment. We've actually rebranded it called the Coaching Starter. Now, why the Coaching Starter? I think we have to restart our coaching relationships. I think a lot of our relationships with our employees have dramatically changed. Their goals have changed. I was talking to a client who was telling me about a high potential, and she said, I had so much hope for this person, and she was saying it in such a disappointing tone. And I said, you sound really upset. And she said, I had her earmarked to become a manager, and I was going to groom her. And I said, well, what's wrong? She goes, she doesn't want to be a manager anymore. And I said, why? And she said, I don't know. I said, would you mind some constructive feedback? And she said, sure. I said, this crisis has hit a lot of people very differently. I'm not so sure people want to jump into management watching what everybody has to deal with. And you could just see, we were doing a virtual call, the expression on her face. She said, oh my gosh. I said, look, I think you need to find out why. And so what they did is they ran our dual assessment. And one of the cool things about the Coaching Starter, or the dual assessment as we call it, is we ask the employees to share their goals in a very structured format. And then the manager does something called a SOAR assessment, which is a derivative of SWOT. And they both listed it out, and they realized things had changed. I said, well, haven't your expectations changed? She said, yes. And I said, so her goals have changed. What was her number one goal? And she said, to spend more time with family. I said, so she has a countering relationship with management and family. And I said, what are you going to do? She said, what do you mean? I said, are you going to argue? And she said, well, of course not. She goes, oh my gosh, Tim, I sound terrible. I go, no. I said, I think what we have to realize, people have changed. This crisis has changed people. So think about what has changed for her. Now, if you say to me or say to her, there's an opportunity to be management and still have a viable, option to be at home and work at home and spend more time with family, that's where your conversation needs to go. They're not mutually exclusive. And so the end of the story is they're in the midst of the conversation right now, but the conversation is better because they have an understanding of each other. So the Coaching Starter is where we do an assessment of employees. And SOAR is a derivative of SWOT. SOAR is SOAR, stands for strength, opportunity, actions, and responsibility. Those are things that the manager says he or she needs from their employees. The employee fills out a goal assessment. They list out 1 or 2 goals, and then they answer questions of the derivative of the word goal. And the acronym stands for great, opportunity, actions, and love. What do I need to be great at? What opportunities will come my way? What actions do I need to participate in? And what will I love about achieving these goals? What we teach is very cool. We teach how to take both assessments, essentially at its most foundational level, giving what the manager wants and giving what the employee wants into a cooperative coaching plan. That's why it's reigniting better relationships. That's why we rebranded it the Coaching Starter. It's a great way to start and or restart a coaching relationship. But rest assured, people have changed, circumstances have changed, relationships have changed, teams will change, the way we do our work will change, and it will change our expectations. But I promise you, if you're a leader, I guarantee you, it absolutely has changed their motivation levels.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.